You are going to box for 10 rounds. You will already given instructions in your respective dressing room. Any question? Okay, seconds come up, final.
So there's a look at Louie Espinoza. He looks upon this really as a tune-up fight, but he says, I never look by any opponent. I take every opponent seriously, and in this case, I agree with him. Alfred Rangel, on the other hand, had his last fight in April. He's on a 3-fight win streak, and of course, he looks upon this as his big chance.
And if you're looking for strategy early, it might behoove Rangel to get off to a fairly quick start because Louie Espinoza is not known as a quick starter. You mentioned the sartorial splendor of Rangel, the American flag in certain form around his trunks. Now let's see, what would the Supreme Court rule on that in light of recent rulings? Is it okay to have a flag on your trunks?
I would think putting those things on with the pole would be a problem.
That would be, yes. So that whatever they would rule would be inappropriate. It's okay to wear those trunks as long as you don't burn them later.
Problem is, I think he expects Espinoza to salute. You see, that's.
Okay, I guess we've exhausted
We've done the flag gags.
We
okay.
certainly have. Okay. We'll probably get a letter from the Supreme Court now. We get letters from everybody else.
That's right.
It's going to be important, I think, for Alfred Rangel to use his jab and land it often. You mentioned the remnants of a cut over Espinoza in his nose there, I guess it is. And, you know, Rangel would like to try and open that up, if for no other reason not to stop the fight, to bother Espinoza.
Espinoza actually acknowledged the fact that, yeah, there is a possibility that that cut could open again, but he says it's really not in a position where it could give me any kind of trouble. It's right directly on the bridge of his nose.
With Louie Espinoza, it's almost like there's two different fighters. And I see him already, Rangel pot-shotting him. There's the Espinoza over the first 4 or 5 rounds of the fight. And then there's the Espinoza who's warmed up, ready to go, and nailing people with big shots. Certainly in the Decima fight, we saw that. And Pedro Decima helped him out in later rounds, getting tired also.
Very strong. You saw, in matter of fact, in that highlight that you had, Al, that he literally knocked Decima off his feet.
Yes. And you have to be strong to deal with Paez the way he did. I mean, it turned out to be a draw. A lot of people thought maybe Paez could have gotten the decision. Whatever the case was, it was fought on fairly even terms. For Louie Espinoza to deal with Paez's power and give in return, you got to be strong.
Paez starting to get some recognition, too. He was a very tough fighter.
Well, his first win over Grove might have been considered a fluke because he beat him after losing a lot of that fight. The second fight, he was good against him. And so Paez is a real force in that featherweight division, in fact, one of the champions.
That first fight, as a matter of fact, he made up 4 rounds all in one. The final round of that fight was a 10-6 round. In all the years I've been doing boxing, I've never seen a 10-6 round. And it was legitimate.
Yeah, 3 knockdowns. He did everything but knock him out. Louie with the good hook. He's actually getting off quicker, Louie, than in recent fights I've seen him in. He might still lose this round, but he did some nice work.
Coming to the end of the first round, and a better than average first round for Louie Espinoza, despite the fact he could lose it.
Well, you can see Alfred Rangel is not a bad fighter. You can see he has skills, and you can see that he belongs in there against top featherweights. His mission is to make that next hurdle and get a big win.
These people didn't feel that Louie Espinoza was very mobile and that may be an area that they could exploit.
That's his big deficiency, certainly. And the people like Jesus Pole, and we saw him beat Espinoza, he used that to his advantage.
One of the reasons that Espinoza took this fight is that he was back in the gym literally 3 days after the Paez fight. And his people felt, well, if you're going to be in the gym and working that hard, you may as well have a fight.
Well, he has been active, and he doesn't duck anybody, Espinoza. He will fight just about anybody.
Just a little bit of blood from that cut over the nose of Espinoza. It's not really open, but it is bleeding a little bit. Left hand again by Espinoza, but it's a little bit of a lunging left hand. Best punch of the fight by Espinoza.
And that's where that left hook helped open up the right hand for Espinosa.
Triple left hook that time by Espinosa.
And even though Alfred Rangel is fighting very well, possibly even winning this round, good countering, you get the feeling that Espinosa is keeping himself right in there.
There's the corner of Alfred Rangel, and meanwhile, in the blue corner, the corner of Louie Espinoza, they will work on the nose. As we mentioned, it is not serious right now, but it did open up a little bit. They have the ice on it, as you can see.
Now look, swallow a little bit. Now, Blue. You understand? You make it way harder. Blue. He's trying to kill him. Combination. Bam, bam, bam. Mix him up. Feint, get off harder, right? Huh? Dude, just get off, man, okay? Oh. You hear me? Get off now, okay?
Louie Espinosa wants so badly to get this punch in. The right. That's been the best one he's thrown. That's not the super duper Louie Espinosa right hand.
Keep moving. Keep stepping.
Alfred Rangel, meanwhile, with 2 pretty good rounds for him. And we start round number 3. I told Espinosa to put a little bit more behind his punches, because that's something could be easier said than done.
Yeah. Well, there's the hook by Louie. That's the one thing that right now he's getting there. And there's the right hand behind it. So when he gets his rhythm going and gets aggressive, unless you're giving him a lot of movement, you can get hit with some pretty big bombs.
Yeah, and you can almost sense him measuring Rangel. He's been a little bit short. He's had to lunge with some of his punches, especially left hand. And he seems, with every passing minute, to be getting a little bit closer. Your card.
I gave Rangel the second round also. Very close round, but I thought he did better work.
Espinosa getting closer and closer off both sides now.
Rangel is giving him good right hand by Alfred Rangel. He's giving Espinosa the hook. It's almost as if he said to himself, if this guy is going to knock me out or beat me, he's going to have to do it with the left hand, not that right hand.
Good combination by Rangel in close. And another right hand by Rangel. Rangel throwing punches very quickly.
Doing his work, getting out. Fighting very much the way Jesus Pole did against Louie Espinosa.
It's obvious that Rangel's people have gone to school both on pole and decimal. Another left hand by Rangel, and he keeps that jab in the face of Louie Espinosa. And Espinosa missed with 3 punches there.
They said Rangel was in excellent condition. He looks it. He had been training for a bout. And so he took this on short notice, but it's not like a short notice fight.
Yeah, he was supposed to fight on July 7th. And when that didn't happen, and this one did, he took a couple days off. Left hand actually stopped Espinosa.
The third round has been a superb round for Rangel.
It's hard to say he took a couple days off when he found out about this fight, and then went right back to work and peaked for tonight, and has looked very good so far.
It's not uncommon for Espinosa to fall behind early in a fight. So this is not too outrageous, but of course you don't want to give away too many rounds.
Now this is probably the best of the 3 rounds for Rangel, and of course on Al Bernstein's card he already won the first 2. Mention there is a cut alongside the left eye. Here's another look.
That may be where it came. Look at it was the right eye that got the headbutt, or the head clash of heads. The body punch from Alfred Rangel.
Doesn't look to be a serious cut right now. They did work on it between rounds, but we will keep an eye on it.
Espinosa feels he was butted during the Paez fight quite a bit. That wouldn't be shocking with Paez. In that instance, he was the victim of a clash of heads.
seems to be getting off quickly.
He's quicker with his hands, throwing more punches.
Combination again.
This is almost a replay of the Jesus Pole fight. It really is. Except in that one, I think Espinosa landed a little more.
Let's take a look at the right hands thrown through 5 rounds.
That's revealing because Louie needs to get that punch in. 72 is even a lot. And there's Rangel with the jab, landing very, very well with that punch. And most of those right hands that have been thrown have either been to the body or pushed, so they weren't. I'll bet you of those 72, I guess it was, maybe 10 were thrown really with conviction to the jaw.
I think that's true. That right hand was just a little bit short. It looked along about the 4th or 5th round as though Espinosa was starting to get the measure of Rangel, but Rangel still seems to be the quicker. Three-punch combination. Espinosa counters with a right.
Now Louie's just waiting, and Alfred happy to take advantage of the opportunity and throw those shots. Louie Espinosa is a tough cookie. I mean, we've seen Decima hit him, we've seen Jesus Pole hit him, we've seen Paez hit him with big shots, and he's not going anywhere. So to knock him out is a real struggle. But you can beat him with lots of punches.
Which is exactly what Rangel is doing. He's being very patient. He hasn't really gone after Espinosa, but he's throwing punches and bunches. Well, that's clever.
Has that been used before?
No, never. Again, it is Rangel who is simply doing more damage. But remember, Espinosa packs much more wallop.
And look how Espinosa hesitated a moment ago, Barry, to try and throw that right hand. There's a good one, and that one may have stunned Rangel.
That was a very good shot. Rangel was moving with it, though, but it still more than got his attention. Rangel backs up, another right hand by Espinosa.
And finally, he has Rangel holding, and there's another right by Espinosa.
And the bell coming just in time for Alfred Rangel. Espinosa's best effort of the night. But still, it might not have been enough for him to salvage the round.
That's Trevino talking to Rangel in Spanish, of course.
Remember the keys to victory we talked about. Let's go back and take another look now that we're into this fight this far.
All right, Espinosa has not cut the ring off well. Finally, in the last 30 seconds, he started landing that right hand for Rangel. The lateral movement has been perfect, and so has the fighting in flurries. He's moved in, thrown punches, and gotten right out. Here's an example of it. He throws 3 punches, takes the right, and after that, he's going to get out of there. Here's the uppercut by Rangel on the inside. And however, at the end of that round, the best moments of Louie Espinosa might give him some encouragement in this bout.
And when Espinosa did get there with the right hand, he hurt Rangel. And